Good morning, Children's House. It's Katie Lewis, and today is Thursday, May 21st, 2020. I have a book for you today called Mud Pies and Other Recipes, and it's written by Marjorie Winslow and illustrated by Eric Legvad. This is a cookbook for dolls. It is written for kind climates and summertime. It is an outdoor cookbook because dolls dote on mud when properly prepared. They love the crunch of pine needles and the sweet feel of seaweed on the tongue. The marketplace then will be a forest or a sand dune or your own backyard. You can use a tree stump for a counter. The sea makes a nice sink, and so does a puddle at the end of a hose. For a stove, there is the sun or a flat stone, and ovens are everywhere. You'll find them under bushes, in sandboxes, or behind trees. Cooking utensils should, whenever possible, be made from something that would otherwise be thrown away. Cutting the side from an empty milk carton leaves a perfect loaf pan, while slicing an inch or two from the bottom of another carton makes a good square cake pan. The bottom half of a heavy cardboard egg carton does nicely as a muffin tin and as a mold for individual cakes and pies. Empty frozen pie pans are very useful. So are frozen orange juice cans, cupped milk bottle tops, small flower pots, pop bottle caps, and coffee cans. Doll cookery is not a very exacting art. The time it takes to cook a casserole depends upon how long your dolls are able to sit at the table without falling over. And if a recipe calls for a cupful of something, you can use a measuring cup or a teacup or a buttercup. It doesn't much matter. What does matter is that you select the best ingredients available, set a fine table, and serve with style. So let's take a look at the table of contents. Those are the categories that this book is broken down into, and those categories are, just like any recipe book, appetizers, soup, salads, and sandwiches, main dishes, pastries and desserts, and beverages. So I'll read you a recipe from each section. Here's an illustration for the appetizer section. There are stuffed seashells, daisy dip, wood chip dip, and berry boats. And I'll read you the recipe for the wood chip dip. In a little bowl, mix dirt with water until it is as thick as paste. Place the bowl on a platter surrounded by wood shavings and scoop the dip with the chip. Then there's a section called soup, salads, and sandwiches. And in this section, you can find a recipe for boiled buttons, marigold madness, mud puddle soup, mock mud puddle soup, molded moss salad, and tossed leaves. Mud puddle soup. Find a puddle after a rainstorm and seat your dolls around it and serve. Then we have a section called main dishes. There's a recipe for backyard stew, fried water, gravel and casserole, roast rocks, dandelion souffle, and leaves and brochette. So I'll read the recipe for fried water. Melt 1 ice cube in a skillet by placing it in the sun. When melted, add 1 cup of water and saute slowly until the water is transparent. Serve small portions because this dish is rich as well as mouth-watering. And then there is a section called Pastries and Desserts. And there's a recipe for mud pies, pine needle upside down cake, sawdust cake, putty fours, an instant mud custard, and dolly pops. So I'll read the recipe for dolly pops because that sounds like fun. Pick a dandelion from the lawn carefully so as not to disturb the fluff. Hand it to your doll and tell her to lick. Then there's a section called beverages at the end. There's Chalk Shake, Rain Spout Tea, and Mum's 61. So this is a recipe for rain spout tea. Place a teapot or sand pail at the end of a rain spout and wait for it to rain. After the sun comes out, serve this tea under a rainbow with sawdust cakes or putty force. So I thought we could use this book as an inspiration for today's journal prompt. I would like to see you make your own recipe. And this can be an imaginary recipe. You can use anything you want, any ingredients you want, as much as you want. And so to start your recipe, you're going to write your list of ingredients, and you're going to use measuring terms such as, do you want your chefs to use cups or tablespoons or a spoonful? How do you want your chefs to measure out each ingredient? So whatever it is your ingredients are, whether it's ice cream or M&Ms or leaves or bark or wood chips, whatever it is, you start with your list of ingredients, and then after you have your list of ingredients written down, then you're going to tell your chef how to make whatever it is you're making. And so you write those instructions together, put those instructions together. You're going to want to think of things like what temperature does the oven need to be put at, or how long to mix, or how to mix. Do you want to use a mixer or a spoon? Things like that. So I want you to have fun with it and enjoy and think about all the times that you've cooked in your kitchen and maybe even outside in your mud kitchen. However you want to do it, just enjoy and have fun. So the activity today is to make your own mud pie or rain spout tea or whatever it is that you want to make. And so for this, I have put together some ingredients. We went for a walk and we found some beautiful ferns, some rocks, some dandelions, a little bit of grass that needed clipping. And we put these things together, and so we'll make a little mud pie. So my mud pie has baked for a little bit under the bush, and it's ready to serve. I thought I could use a little seashell to serve it up.